Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, February 20th.
This investigation with our partnerships cleared burglaries in Volusia, Flagler, St. Johns County.
That's Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley, who says an investigation led to 3 people facing charges.
In the end of January, we had reports of multiple auto burglaries at Madison Green Apartments where windows were smashed and property taken, including guns. Detective Costello was assigned the cases and immediately started working with our real-time crime center, along with the Ormond Beach Police Department, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, after he had developed suspects that were believed to be from Jacksonville.
The trio was booked on 17 counts of burglary, including 1 count of armed burglary, which Staley says carries a penalty of up to life in jail. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Florida's 6th District Congressman weighs in on the Chinese spy balloon incident and the other recent shootdowns. Michael Waltz describes why the Chinese are using surveillance balloons.
What the Chinese are doing are essentially developing a surveillance capability that sits between where satellites fly and where surveillance aircraft fly in what's called near space or the stratosphere. And from a strategic standpoint, I could tell you in all of our war games, should we ever have to come to some type of conflict, the first shots are fired in cyberspace and in actual space because our entire economy is dependent on the satellites that are up there, from agriculture to telecommunications to real-time logistics. They know that. They've developed the ability to take it down. And if we take theirs down in kind, these balloons are kind of their backup plan. Think about it that way.
He's also critical of the White House response.
Despite the president finally addressing the American people, I have no idea what our shoot-down criteria are and why we didn't shoot down the thing we knew was collecting on us, and then we got trigger happy with things that we had no idea what they are. And, you know, Greg's a Navy veteran. I would have court-martialed some of my officers if they just went and started authorizing things that we had no idea if it had hostile intent, where it came from, what it was doing, and just started blowing things out of the sky. So I'm getting more disturbed as they try to explain themselves.
Waltz says the administration needs to look at the big picture.
Big message that China's putting out in its propaganda all over the world is the United States is declining, democracy is too fractious and unruly, capitalism is too unfair. That's why you need to side with us. And look, as proof of that, they can't even defend against a balloon. And that's what, if you look at Chinese state media, they are blasting all over the world. You better side with us. We're the future. The United States and the West are the past. And that's the new Cold War that we are in. And we need to acknowledge that and begin thinking about it that way.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
In commemoration of Black History Month, a recent episode of Common Ground delved into the historical account of the experiences of black students attending school in Flagler County.
Historian Randy Jay said that until George Washington Carver High School was built in 1949, black students had to go to St. Augustine or Daytona for high school. Jay said that George Washington Carver High School had its own band, culture, and identity.
And I've talked to several people that witnessed parades here in Flagler County in the 1950s and 60s, and they'd have the George Washington Carver marching band had come, and they had these beautiful, colorful uniforms, and they had these dance routines, and they were really active.
Jay said that it was nothing like Bunnell High School.
And then here comes the Bunnell High School band, and they had this traditional, marching one foot after the other type of thing.
He said that when the schools were desegregated, much of Carver's culture was lost. Common Grounds is on WNZF on Sunday mornings at 10, and it's on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, historian Randy Jay says black businesses in Flagler County were encouraged and then lost. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Have you ever considered being a library volunteer? Flagler County needs you.
Those who love books, have a little extra time on their hands, and are interested in meeting some like-minded people should consider volunteering at the Flagler County Public Library. Volunteers provide support services or work on special projects with staff. Flagler County Chief of Special Projects and Library Director, Holly Albanese.
The volunteers help us. They'll be a welcome desk greeter, they'll shelve books, they will help in youth services with their programs. We really have a big group of people who help us with the donations as they come in, with sorting and putting them in the bookstore, getting them ready for a book sale. And we have others who help at the research desk.
Albanese adds applicants must be at least 18 years old. Positions are designed to match volunteer skills, interests, and schedules. Assignments can change and open positions vary. Check out the Flagler County Public Library site for more details. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.